Yo, what's up guys? In today's video, I'm gonna be showing you guys how I make pain beats in 2024 for artists like Lil Durk, Lil Papa, especially Rodwave because he's been popping off this last year. This is mainly gonna be a beat breakdown of a beat that I really like, and I'm just gonna break down each part of the melody and the drums. But the drums are more of like a background thing I feel like for these pain beats because the melody is really what sets the vibe, but your drums still have to slap. But mainly the melody is important. But let's just get straight into FL Studio. So we are in FL Studio right now, and I'm just gonna show you guys the beat real quick. Alright, so that's the beat. So the first things first is obviously the piano. So we're in A minor, and I'm just gonna actually the scale is highlighted already to show you guys. So first things first is I just built a basic minor chord. So this E and then the C are all in the same thing, but I just put these up an octave. So this is how that sounds. And then I just built off the scale. So I started just putting notes in to make it lead into the next thing. And this whole entire first half of this eight pattern is the same exact chord. It's just me building along with it. So and then once we get to the second half is when it changes. So then this second half is a G major chord. So if we go down and then this is down, see there's a 3 space, which means it's major, and then 2. So that's pretty much it for the how the chords are going together. And then same thing with this one. This is a F chord and it's a F major chord, and it's pretty simple. But then the thing about it is you don't want your piano staying in the same octave throughout the whole time because then it gets boring. So that's why when we get to the second half, see, it's like very subtle and it slowly goes up because we don't want the sound the same. We want to build emotion more and tension with it. And one thing I would say when you're building up the scale, avoid notes that are next to each other. I know this one's good, but that's because it's more of leading into each other. But if I had it like higher up and close, it just sounds darker more, because when the notes are next to each other in a scale, it builds more dark feeling and more tension. It just sounds more evil, but we don't want that. We want it to be more sad or happy, whatever you're going for, but we still want it to be painful. So and one thing I started getting better at was building tiny little like rhythms inside the main chords, and then the top note is like its own thing, building its own like beautiful like suspense, I guess. And then we could even do this. You can even just put this one up an octave. It might be not as full, but that's what the other sounds are for. And also even just layering it up and then like putting it down, making it sounds cool too. But that's pretty much it for the main piano. The second thing is this guitar, and basically for guitars you want the bend and stuff, so I use Contact. It's Evolution Infinity, and it's this tap faster lead. So learn your scale with the MIDI keyboard, and then if we look at this channel pitch, this is where you do your bends and stuff with like your pitch bend wheel. So I'm gonna go into the Contact and look at this range. You want to put it up to like 14 to 20, and if you see, like with this pitch bend on your MIDI keyboard, you can like mess with it and move it up, bend the pitch, just to make it sound more realistic, because a real guitar is gonna have real bends and stuff. And then also you also want to randomize it, and also like make sure the notes bleed into each other to make sure it sounds like realistic. So watch as the guitar plays, just watch this pitch wheel. So that's pretty much it for the guitar. I just followed the root notes and put it into a higher octave and then add my own sauce to it. So after the guitar, I added a top line to the piano, and basically the same thing as the guitar. Just learn your scale on your MIDI keyboard. So we're in A minor, it's pretty easy. And you could just start doing freestyle and some random stuff. And then this is what I came out with. And I just copied it over. And so we're gonna go back a little bit in steps. So for this, since I did this piano, I add the same thing to the main piano and this piano, and it was pretty much just reverb, and I copied it to the same thing for this top line piano. And then for the guitar, you have to put a lot of effects on it because it's gonna sound too dry. So I put EQ to EQ out the highs. And then I also put a flanger. So we'll just go through and what they each do. So this is without the EQ. Sounds okay, but gotta get rid of a little bit of that high end. So EQ, then flanger. Then delay. 2 delays. And then this is what makes it the reverb. I put the same reverb settings on it, just put this mix up, and it sounds so good. So then all together they sound like this. And then next is the bass line. So when we're following this bass line, you just follow the root notes, and then like I said, freestyle. You can also do it with the MIDI keyboard just to like follow the scale. You know what I mean? But this is how it sounds. So if you're playing this though, if you're just clicking in the notes, I would say start moving shit around and stuff. But if you're doing that to make it sound more realistic, make shit fade in, like start just adjusting things to make it sound unrealistic. Like you don't want it to be completely on grid. You want it to still sound good, but you don't need it to be all on grid because you want it to sound realistic. Next things is I grabbed this MIDI from my piano. So I went to the pattern, copied it, and then I went to pattern 5 and just copied it in there, as you can see. And this is how this sounds. So the reason I did that is to add more space in the melody. So I just put a reverb on it. And the shelf is really important because if I didn't have the shelf, it'd be overtaking the melody. So I just keep that just for extra background. And what would a pain beat be without a vocal chop? So I just got a vocal chop from Splice. And basically all you have to do is just set it to the right key. And I put the EQ shelf on there, so we'll just go through it. So this would be without the shelf. So I just put that delay, and then reverb, obviously, and then a little pan man. So basically, so it pans from right to left ear. So just watch this. Simple. So that's pretty much it for the melody. If I had to say anything, really, is don't make it too complicated, but still add a little bit of sauce into it. So this is all of it together. So next thing is I route this all to a melody bus and then put this sound shifter. So basically it just pitches it up and down. So if you want to hear that, so we'll just listen to this piano. So this is the original one. And then I pitch it up 3 to D sharp, or to D. And that's just how it is. So then with this 808, I put it on, oh wait, maybe it was in C actually, I'm tweaking. But so then the 808 is literally just following these bass notes, these root notes from the piano, and this is how that sounds. And then I layered the 808 with a kick. Just so for variation through the arrangement. And then for my rim or snare, I used a rim and a clap. So for your drums, I feel like the main part I would say is make sure your 808's on key and make its own rhythm, but don't make it too complicated of a rhythm. I make it follow the same rhythm every two beats. So then next is the hi-hat with everything. And that's only for a section, because then I also have this, the 2-step, with some rolls in it. And it's just the same thing copied over. And then next is just a crash. Then some open hat sauce. And I like my open hats to treat them kind of like a counter snare, like a perk. So if you could see, I have it hidden as like a counter snare would. And then next is just a snap. And that's pretty much it for the drums. I think drums are pretty easy on Pain Beats because you just follow the root notes and add a little bit hi-hat sauce on it. But that's pretty much it. So that's pretty much it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video helped you out a little bit or anything, because Pain Beats are one of those things where you just gotta get better with the scales and learn how to use your piano and all of the other instruments that work well with it. But thank you so much for watching. Check out my Instagram at reifpod in the description, and I'm gonna show you guys this beat one more time.
Hey, Reef.